I don't think appreciates the big goal. Some of these are almost.
Thanks for coming. I'm sure there's a milk to my
Oh, you wrote it?
Yeah.
What do you write?
A lot of questions.
Go ahead.
Hey, Yisrael, let me go. No, here, that leads to the vice.
What's that?
So now we're at the table that's
I don't know if this is the sound.
no, that's right. See, no, it's not. But let the people come as fast. So what do you like?
Videos.
Set.
Okay. And then the Darren brothers are here.
Everybody else. Let's start.
Except, no, you told me that two people aren't coming.
Moving to the last
You have to look it over. You're gonna have to come. That's why I don't have to mark
Yeah, the room, I apologize. I'm not able to make it again. I was going to disconnect.
That's really. You just stand right here. Okay, Mazel Tov, everyone. Ruch Mabayim, welcome. It's my honor to welcome you to a true Simcha, a Simcha of Torah, celebrating the Smicha, Chag Hasmicha, and Dayanis for many of the esteemed members of online Smicha. Just for, my name is Yosef Wilhelm. I'm Rabbi Wilhelm's nephew. He taught me also many things in my life. And the celebration of Smicha, you know, Ein Lakadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem doesn't have, since the Churban Beis Hamikdash, Shel Adalat Amish Shel Halacha, the only place Hashem finds comfort is in the Torah, and specifically in Halacha. We just learned in Tanya how the deepest relationship, the deepest possible bond a human could have is with Hashem through learning Torah. And specifically, the examples given are examples of Halacha. The deepest connection we make with Hashem is when we learn Torah, and specifically the detailed, specific nuances of Halacha. And we're celebrating this Simcha for everyone here who came with their families, parents, grandparents, friends, brothers, sisters, chavrusas. And we're also celebrating for Klal Yisrael as there's more Rabbanim, more people who not only are keeping Torah mitzvahs, but are able to teach and guide the next generation, their family and their friends, and their communities in Torah. It's a simcha for the entire Klal Yisrael. So it's a great, great joy. We're going to start with a kapitel of Tehillim. We're going to call a current student of the online Smicha, Rabbi Yankel Glick, to lead us in kapitel Kuf Chav Beis. We'll also please have in mind for Refuah Shlema Kreva and for Arichas Yam and Shan Toives for the head Masmith of the online Smicha, Rav David Shachat, Rav David Ben Sar Sasha, for Refuah Shlema Kreva.
Shila Malois Esuena Yellow Yayan Ezri Ezri Mehem Adonai Oisa Shemayan Uretz Al Yitain Lamoit Reglefu Adinum Shenrechu Ina Lo Yuna Velo Yishan Shaima Yisrael Adonai Shemrechu Adonai Tzilcha Ayad Yimenechu Kaima Mashemesh Lo Yakeku Leach Belaylo Adonai Yishmachu Mikolo Yishma Tzeshechu Adonai Yishma Tzeshechu Meyatu Adoilam
We'll do one more kapitel. We're going to call up the first Muslim who got Smicha recently, Rabbi Mendy Hirschkop, who's also recently married, and he has to be a good husband and step out. So we're going to call him up, receive his certificate, and share with us a few remarks.
So it's known that there's a few different ways of learning. There's learning just for the sake of learning, there's learning for the sake of action, and there's learning for the sake of teaching. In my experience, when we were learning over here, it's been the middle one where you're learning for the sake of application in real life. So not only going through inside, but also what actual implications there are in the day-to-day life in the kitchen or other things like that. And the question is, now that we reached the step where we're getting Smicha, where do we go from here? So the answer is obviously to continue to pass it on to other people. That it's known that the only better way of learning than for learning to apply to actual life is to learn it in order to actually teach it to others. That over there it says that Hashem gives us a kayach l'lam lishmar blases and it becomes a lot easier for us to keep the halacha. So I want to thank Rabbi Willem and everybody else involved for teaching the halacha in such a way where we're able to apply it to our actual life, and it'll be a lot easier to tell over when we're actually able to give actual examples of how halacha applies in our life.
All right, so we're going to present a certificate. You want to read what the certificate says, everyone? Okay. It says certificate of Smicha, and each Muslim will get also the Sefer Halichos Olam, which is questions and answers on the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, as Rabbi Hirschkopf set me up so well to say. Everyone who learned is only getting started. This is the beginning of their journey. And Rabbi Willem says now everyone has to learn the entire Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Mazel tov, mazel tov.
Yosef, you're in the way.
Oh, sorry.
Where's your twin?
It's so appropriate that we're having this Chag Hasmicha this week. The Smicha, which is on the Rabbi Yosef Cairo, wrote the Shulchan Aruch, first of Beis Yosef, then the Shulchan Aruch, and connected to this week, the Rebbe said in Hey Tevis, in Tavshim Amchas, the Rebbe said that everyone should learn the Dan Natzach, the Svarim 1, everyone should learn where, and specifically the Rebbe encouraged Shulchan Aruch was then in Memches. It was 500 years from the birth of the of Yosef Cairo. It was 500 years from his birth. I guess that's 536 years now from his birth. The Rebbe encouraged everyone to learn Shulchan Aruch. The Rebbe said it's connected to Parshas Vayigash because the Beis Yosef called his book the Beis Yosef because in this week's Parsha it says that Yosef provided food for all of the Yidden. And same too, Beis Yosef said he's going to provide spiritual food in the terms of the Shulchan Aruch for every Yid. And it's a connection to this week's Parsha, why it's so appropriate that we're celebrating the Smicha today in Parshas Vayigash. We're going to ask for divrei bracha and remarks from Rav Segal, who tested some of the students of online Smicha, and we're honored to have him here with us to share divrei bracha. Rabbi Segal.
Allermeistens Mazel Tov, zusammen kulam Rabbonim, Dayonim. Da bewusste Meise, בנגיע zu Reb Shmuel Munkes, החוסית von Alten Rebben. Also ist einmal reingekommen in Beis Medrash und hat gesagt, Naid, was lernt der erste Perek von Bobbe Metzia, Schnei Mirzen Betalis. Und ist zugegangen zu dem Naid und hat gesagt, zu erkennen, fragen Herr Scheile. Hat gefragt, אז דמישנה איפתון, שניים ריבזים בטליס, זה אימר אני מצוסיה וזה אימר אני מצוסיה, זה אימר כולה שלי וזה אימר כולה שלי, ומדדים מזה יחליקו. אתם gefragt, einti doch was Chedisch, waren davenen, בשעס מזוקת, זה היה מוסה השם, ומדף איבר חזר noch einmal, זה היה מוסה השם, einti כסידורים, את משנה ביסטל משנה gewesen, aber da molle כסידורים, steht sehr je Moshe Hashem, nachher steht der kleine See. Jeder einer versteht, und man darf sagen noch einmal, sehr je Moshe Hashem. Hat gefragt, über See, was darf die Mischte Marich sein? Sehr immer אני מצוסיה, וזה immer אני מצוסיה. זה immer כולו שלי, וזה immer כולו שלו. So stehen einmal sehr immer אני מצוסיה, und später so stehen der kleine See, wird jeder einer verstehen, und man darf sagen, sehr immer אני מצוסיה. So stehen sehr immer Kula Sheli, später so stehen ein kleiner See, wird jeder einer verstehen, und man darf sagen, sehr immer Kula Sheli. Nu, der Ried hat verstanden, als Reb Shmuel Minkes will etwas sagen, ein bisschen tiefere Sachen. Hat gefragt, was ist der Rentfer? Sagt der Rentfer ist Poshut. Beschas, du sagst in Allel, hat nicht gewusst, die Sibbe, bei Allel, für was chazat man lieber die Zayeh Mosu Hashem? Bechlal, der letzte Perik von Allel, Chazat Meniber. Aber was Chazat Meniber steht in Sforim, Rishonim steht. Als ein Mensch kann sich nicht weggehen von allem. Das, was Mechazat Tiber hat zweite Mal, das ist aber weiß, aber man endigt nicht in allem. Man kann nicht endig in allem. Man darf denken, dem Eberschen die ganze Zeit. Ist jeder Postuk sagt Meniber noch einmal. Aber Bechlolus, als ein Mensch sagt, sehr joim, hat nicht die Kavone, und früher nicht mehr haben gewesen und der nächste Postik weiß noch, also darf immer sagen noch einmal dieselbe Sache, ich dort ist genug, ein kleiner See. Bescheid aber einer sagt, sehr immer Kula Sheli, oder sehr immer אני מצוסיה, ist der zweite, was sagt, sehr immer Kula Sheli, sagt das nicht, weil See darf nicht sagen. Weil viel Tag ja See, das ist Kula Sheli. Und das ist אני מצוסיה. Jemand darf stehen befehlisch. Aber man darf noch überchazern einmal, es kann stehen ein kleiner See. Aber am Moment, das mit der Emes, darf stehen befehlisch. Hat ihm gesagt, der Rebischter soll helfen, der sehr jem Oso Hashem soll bei dir sein, sehr stark, als wie jener, wo sagt, sehr immer Kulo Sheli. Gefragt, wo kann man lernen, als Ihnen hat ihm gesagt, das vorhin zu der Alte Rebbe, der Oisland, Aderech und Avede, wie sieht, der sehr jem Oso Hashem soll sein, voller Fokus, sehr stark, wie sehr immer Kulo Sheli. Wir stehen doch in die Tag, was ist noch Chanike, so da größe Scheile in Gemorre zu der Mitzvahs von der Chanike ist der Anoche Mitzvah zu der Adloke Mitzvah. Scheile in Gemorre, was ist der Chilik zu mir sagt, Anoche Mitzvah zu Adloke Mitzvah? Eba Anoche Mitzvah ist viel als Adloke gewesen, nachher Schäte bekotten, kann man jetzt sein mit der Adloke, weil der Anoche ist die Mitzvah. Man hebt das auf, man legt das weg, ist man jetzt die Mitzvah. Dann haben wir gesagt, aber Adloke ist die Mitzvah, ist als Idliko, Chere Schete bekotten, hat nicht jetzt gewesen, weil der Adloke darf sein, durch Emitzer, was ist scheich zu der Mitzvah von der Adloke. Ein Zweiter kann ich machen, keine Adloke. Ist die Gemorre zum Sof, sagt die Maskone, als wie die Nussach ist. Adlik, ne Chanike, ist das Simen, als die Adloke macht die Mitzvah. Nicht der Anoche macht die Mitzvah. Die Gemorre bringt noch eine Reihe von Ashishis, für Isodelekes, Merev Shabbos, da steht Mechago Adliko, der Anoche ist die Mitzvah, weil du darf sein Magbia Menicho, nicht nur Mechago Adliko. Aber die Scheile ist, was ist eingefallen, als vor in Gemorre, als der Anoche von Neves Chaneke, das ist die Mitzvah. Das ist eine Mitzvah von Anoche, ist Tfilon. Chaneke ist eine Meise von Anoche. Was ist etwas eingefallen, als er sagt, als der Anoche soll sein die Mitzvah und nicht der Adloke? Aber wir fragen, was ist der Ihnen von Lernen? Öffnen dem Sefer oder lernen in dem Sefer? Weglegen dem Sefer auf den Tisch und öffnen, das ist die Mitzvah, zu der Lernen ist die Mitzvah. Was ist der Adloke die Mitzvah? Was ist die Svarben so sagen, der Anoche ist die Mitzvah? Aber wir gesehen, von Rabben, ein paar Wort, wir sehen in Neres bis am Mikdash, sieht man, der Rambam bringt darauf, als viele Emitzer, was ist nicht der Koyen, können uns in die Neres bis am Mikdash. Er kann doch nicht da reingehen bis am Mikdash allein. Wie können uns in die Neres bis am Mikdash? Wenn sie gewesen nach Rav Eliyahu, der erste Mal, was Beton gibt in die Meneure, hat gesagt, wenn kommt der Poschete Sache, als Moschiach hat kommen, und mit Madlik sein die Meneure, wird das der Rebbe Madlik sein, was der Rebbe gezogen hat, so viel Meneures bei Iden, wir können nicht da reingehen in der Azore, es steht in Rambam, nimmt man aus die Meneure in Dreußen, und mit Zintoson, und man bringt das rein zurück in Beis Hamikdash. Was sagt man von die Schitte? Als die Adloke ist nicht die Ikara Mitzvah. Die Ikara Mitzvah ist, weglegen die Sache in Beis Hamikdash, oder Beis Hamikdash ist leicht. Ist gewesen, a Scheile in Gemorre, öfter der Ingen von Neres Chaneke, soll sein Echademe zu der Ingen von Adlokas Neres. Was mir gefühlt hat, wir können es uns in Bachutz, nicht in der Mokken, wo die Neres darf sein. Und die Mitzvah, aber darf stellen die Neres in Beis Hamikdash, ist bei Mekayem, durch den, was der Koyen nimmt die Menere und stellt es rein in Beis Hamikdash. Wie wird jemand ist kein die Mitzvah durch den, was ist maniach dem Ner? Ist die einzige Reihe, was die Gemorre bringt, von dem, was der Nussach Adroche ist, der Adlik Nei Chanukah, ist das Simen, die Mitzvah ist nicht der Anoche, nur die Mitzvah ist der Adloke. Was die Iker ist, und die Gemorre sagt der Maskone, als Eimot Madlik gewesen, Neres Chanukah, ist Kopf so immer, ist auch nicht klar. Die einzige Sache, was man darf oben zu tun mit der Iden, ist Anzünden, Umwärmen. Und später brennt allein oder leicht, als wie sie darf zu sein. Und das ist, wie der Rebbe sagt, damit gefindt man, geht zu die Menere, gefindt man an der Shamesh gefindt sich Echer von der allen Neres. Aber was macht man der Shamesh Echer von der allen Neres? Für die zu machen Maschinenrück von der anderen Neres, wollte man gedacht machen, der Shamesh niedriger. So sein Maschinenrück. Aber was steht mit dem Shamesh, wo das nicht die Mitzwe Echer von der allen Neres? Sagt der Rebbe, weil der Shamesh öffnet sich der Meile, was 10 Tonnen alle Neres. Die Mitzwe ist da, als die Neres sollen brennen. Aber sie da eine mehr dicke Meile und eine größere Meile in die Neres, der Ner, was 10 Tonnen und macht die Mitzwe von der Glocke. Und das ist der Shamesh. Jeder gefindt man einmal so, wenn geht zu Bdikas Chometz, nutzt man doch echt den Ner und dort führt sich, als der Chometz, was mir gefindt, und der Säckel, was liegt dort in der Chometz, und der Löffel, was der Chometz wird tun, verbrennt man zusammen mit dem Ner. Fragt sich eine Scheile Meile, der Chometz darf man verbrennen. Die Löffel, was hat angeriert der Ner, darf man nicht verbrennen. Es hat angeriert der Chometz, darf man nicht verbrennen. Die Säckel hat der Kescher mit Chometz. Die Säckel, was liegt dort in der Chometz, darf man nicht verbrennen. Aber der Ner hat nicht angeriert den Chometz. Da was man das verbrennen? Es steht es vor ihm, als saß so Ner, was der ganze Ringen seiner ist, suchen Chometz bei jenem, suchen nicht gute Sachen bei jenem, darf man verbrennen zusammen mit dem Chometz. Die alle, was da bekommen Smicha, seine doch Neres Loir, und so haben die Meile von dem Shamesh mit den Neres zusammen, und jemand ist der Glocke, ist er mit 10 Tonnen Emitzen, wird gleich, brennt als wie darf zu sein, und der Eibischter soll helfen, wenn wir so gehen, Michael, von Rabbones zu Dayones und weiter und weiter. Es ist noch da Arbeit, noch dem, was wir lernen, Dayones Eichert. Es ist noch eine Sache, was wir lernen. Atzloch Arbeit.
Okay, Baruch Hashem, there's many people getting smicha, so as you're eating this delicious food, we'll continue the program. We want to call up, as we give the smicha and certification of smicha to Rabbi Yitzchak Shon, who's here with his wife and his rabbi, Rabbi Shalom Deitch. So please come up.
So when people heard that I had gotten Smicha, when people heard that I had completed the program, they were a bit, admittedly, they were a bit surprised. But after they got over their surprise, they asked me, what made you wish to be a rabbi? Why did you want to be a rabbi? And that was a very odd question to me because I never set out to be a rabbi. I was looking for a program that I could learn all of the things that I never had the opportunity to learn. And I had heard about this program, this online Smicha. I talked to a few people who knew about it. And it seemed like a good place to learn. So now people tell me this is a milestone. And I thought about that for a while and I realized it is a milestone. A milestone is a marker on a road. It tells you that you passed a point, but it's not your destination. It simply tells you you're still on the right road. So I consider this to be a milestone. Certainly, we all know that the learning doesn't end. In fact, you should even make an effort to double your learning. You should make an effort to learn even more than you know before. A few people I really, really wish to thank. First of all, Rabbi Wilhelm. Obviously is the one who helped me learn all of the things that I wanted to learn and is continuing to help me learn through the Dayanis program. Rabbi Shalom Deitch, the director of Chabad of Northern Virginia, who continues to learn with me and who learns with many, many people and answers all of my questions. Rabbi Abson, the administrator of Online Smicha, who must have the patience of a saint because he would ask me technical questions, what I see on the old platform, and I would send him reams of technical data. And he never once said, please don't fill my email box with this stuff. And I'm particularly also the Rabbanim of Yeshiva Ma'ayanot. Rabbi Shlomo Gestetner is here tonight. Rabbi Pascal Shem Tov, Rabbi Vichman, and Rabbi Yossi Shem Tov, with whom I learned Basar Chalev. And the many, many chavrusas that I had with the Bocharim at Ma'ayanot, and hope to continue to have at Ma'ayanot, and of course my wife Roberta. Oh yeah, for sure. And my wife Roberta, who put up with all of my learning and all the times that I said I can't go or I can't do because I have to learn. Rabbi Moti Wilhelm, who teaches the Kisser Shulchan Aruch here. And last, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Rebbe, without whose guidance and continuous teachings we would not be here. Absolutely.
First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank Izzy. Izzy's my chavrusa. Every Tuesday morning after davening, we sit down with a Shulchan Aruch, not with any abridged version, not with an English version, but the original. Izzy makes me feel like I'm back in yeshiva, with the sefer. And just like in my days of yeshiva, I brech the cup of them. So I want to personally thank him for that. But more importantly, we see, when it speaks about limud Torah, the main thing you might say is shetiyu amelim b'Torah. You should harav in Torah. You should work hard at Torah. You should be working hard in it. And anybody who knows Izzy knows Pashit mamish like achamor la'oil. He Pashit works hard, and he accomplished. And there's no shortcuts. This is Yomim, Kalelas, one after the other, years and years and years. It's not take no. I spoke to Rabbi Gestetner today. Myself and Rabbi Gestetner were humbled when we see the effort that goes in with Izzy's learning. There's no shortcuts, and it's mamish lahafli, unbelievable. So he deserves this. And I like what Izzy said. This is only the beginning. He's going to continue to learn. So we're the whole community. I bring greetings from the whole community in Northern Virginia, all the shluchim over there, over 10 shluchim over there, as well as the hundreds of mispalim are very, very proud of Isidore Shom and Roberta, of course.
Rabbi Gestetner.
All right, it's my honor to call up, and for all of us to congratulate and celebrate. Oh, here it is. I couldn't see him for a second. Rabbi Peretz Chaim is here with family and friends like family. Two rabbis. He's joining the Bezdin, it seems like. Mazel tov, mazel tov.
Good evening. Welcome to all those who came, traveled from far and wide. I was notified by Rabbi Wilhelm, who likes to challenge us, that I have to say a few words tonight. So, first of all, I will start off by thanking Rabbi Wilhelm and the staff at Online Smicha, and obviously all my classmates. I've shared a few with the different groups. We had a great time, and like I said, he challenges everybody. He doesn't, even though it's an online class and you can turn off your camera sometimes, he will still make sure that you're paying attention and that you're getting whatever he's giving over on the lesson. I would like to thank friends and family that did come here tonight. Unfortunately, my side of the family cannot be here, but for good reason. We had a family Simcha this morning out of town, so they didn't make it here. But from the other side, from my wife's side, they were here. And unfortunately, there is one person here who could not be here tonight, who is actually the person I look up to and influenced me to pursue this, who is my late father-in-law, Rabbi Daniel Levy, Ben Rav Daiber, Alav Shalom. And my father-in-law was, I guess, the real shining example to me, not just in learning. He was someone who was, super organized, wake up really early to take care of, the physical being, exercise, prepare learning. He had set times for learning throughout the day. And if there was an extra second, he would take the opportunity to learn something. I wish that I could have gone through this program and had him, to lean on and to ask questions, because I can't remember a time that there was something I asked him, whether it was a halacha, Gemara, anything, Chumash, that he couldn't answer. And I am dedicating this to him. I'll say this week's parsha is Parshas Vayigash. I'm not usually one in the family. Baruch Hashem, we have a lot of rabbis. I'm not one to give Dvar Torah. I'll just touch on it. Vayigash Yehuda, that it says Yehuda was ready to go to war, to save Binyamin. And if you think about it, how could they actually go to war, even though the brothers are very strong, but heavily outnumbered. But what was the real fear? That really not physically. We're talking about spiritually. That Binyamin would be held back, and in the land of Mitzrayim, where the spiritual level wasn't up to par, and we have to take a lesson from that. That we can't let any single Jew. We can't leave any Jew behind, and make sure that they, have what they need spiritually. And that's a big lesson here. What I take from that is actually just going back, touching on my story personally. I left yeshiva probably about 25 years ago, very young. Went into the working field, and I think it was about 6 or 7 years ago by Kinnis Shluchim, one of my friends, Shliach, who encouraged me to take on Chitas and Rambam, and then a few years ago when they started the new Daf Yomi cycle, started that. I took on last year 3 Pakim Rambam. This is besides joining the online Smicha course. And when I joined this course, I didn't really tell anybody because I didn't think it was a big deal, and not in a bad way. Just I don't believe in saying, "Oh, I'm doing A, B, and C." The reason why I just mentioned these things because you should be telling your friends, colleagues that you are doing these things and taking these good deeds upon yourself, because it does influence others. And that's really where, coming back to the point I said before, to Pasha, you have to, help your brothers spiritually or save them. And if you can encourage somebody to take upon learning, whether it is Gemara, Chassidus, whatever subject it is, but just to keep adding on. And I know personally for myself, years ago when I used to go to the oil, I came out with tried to Rebbe. I had like an empty feeling because I would just go and ask for things, and now I always start off, my pan and tell the Rebbe, I'm taking this upon myself. I'm learning this. I'm doing this, and then I get to the other things are not as important, parnasa, whatever. But I always have something good to report, and I feel fulfilled with that. So with that in closing, I'd like to thank Rabbi Willem again, and everyone for coming tonight.
I want to call up, I think your brothers-in-law, Rabbi Fogelman, and Rabbi Colin Weinfeld to join the picture and then share a few remarks.
I just would like to say that my brother-in-law Peretz mentioned Vayigash I love Yehuda. The trop on Vayigash I love Yehuda is Kadma va'azla Vayigash I love Yehuda Revi'i. And Peretz is the fourth son-in-law from Rabbi Levi alav hashalom. So I would say the fourth son-in-law, Kadma va'azla, is moving ahead.
Okay, so being that the MC is helping out in the back, so I'm gonna keep the ball rolling. I'm sure many of you in this side of the room might now recognize my voice. I don't have to introduce myself. I bet you many people on that side of the room also recognize my voice because as I say to people 2.5 years before the start of the program, that once you join the program, you'll hear my voice in the middle of your night's sleep. So I see everybody laughing back there. It's a fact. So I want to thank my nephew, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Wilhelm, who runs a phenomenal program in Manhattan. He runs, I think, the biggest, what is it called? What's the Rosh Hashanah? What's the Rosh Hashanah? The biggest Chabad young professional, I think, all around the world. He's in Manhattan. And I asked him, I gave him way advance notice this morning. I asked him to MC the event, and he said he nanny. Okay, so the next one on the list, Dovi, please help me out, is Gadi. Gadi Sirota. You want to say something?
Yeah. Good evening. I choose to say a few words because today is my birthday. And I'm in position to channel the energies to all the present in Ruchaniyut and in Gashmiut. And to connect two things, spirituality and material blessings, that's what I have learned over the last 2+ years. And it started with the interview when Rav asked me to read aloud the Orach Chaim Siman Kuf Nun Hey. It was about after prayer, after spiritual connection, you go to Beit Midrash and you learn halachot. And only took me a few months to reflect why it was the text chosen to test my Hebrew reading. But the idea was that we should set the time to learn beyond the prayers. And then in small letters that I happened to learn to read much later,
Rama suggested that even the person who does not know how to learn should still go. And schar alicha, and the reward of walking will be in his favor. In this program, online Smicha, schar alicha, the benefit of walk was taken from us because Rab Wilhelm ran this online. I don't need to walk that far from my chair to my laptop, which left no room but to start learning and to know how to learn. This is the best advantage of this program for me, that there were no excuses. It's likely impossible to find time with a career and to get any Shulchan Aruch studies as a regular daily exercise. And okay, here we are. Thank you very much.
Gabi has a special friend who came all the way to be here with the celebration. Hey, Noya. Gabi and Noya, are you in the same class? Who else is in this class? You're in this class? Whoever takes himself, whoever else is in this class, come over. Hey, I need one. You have a picture. I think, Gabby, you have one of those?
No, I do not have. Thank you.
Honored to have with us Rabbi Hertz, who is a chaver, a member of the Vad Rabban Lubavitch, who also tested the students in the Yanis twice to share divrei bracha and greetings.
Mazel tov for this occasion. I want to take this opportunity to thank Rabbi Nachman Wilhelm, Rabbi Goyen, Rabbi Nachman Wilhelm, for not only learning Dayonis, learning Yeridea, but creating this mochin, which is called mochin Smicha. Right? Mochin Torah. So in this week's parsha, it says, "Ves Yehuda sholach lefonov lahiris lefonov Goshna." And Yaakov Avinu sent Yehuda ahead into Mitzrayim lahiris lefonov Goshna. What does lahiris lefonov Goshna mean? So the simple explanation Rashi says is to be mesader, to arrange a place where to stay, to dwell, to find a place, a house where to be there when they get there. Umedroshay, Rashi brings the medrash. The sakin like base Talmud shemisham teitzei hira, which means to establish a place of learning, a base Talmud. From there, misham teitzei hira. So there's a famous question which the Rebbe asks in the Sicha: why did you have to send Yehuda to make a base Talmud shemisham teitzei hira? Yosef was there. They knew that Yosef was there. Yosef was Ben Zkunim, that was the Kabbalah Torah from his father. Obviously, he was able to arrange to learn Torah. Also, the Aves and the Shvatim, they were all learning Torah on their own. Why do you have to establish a base Talmud ahead of time? There is an anecdote that Yosef sent Agoles, the Egla Arufa, that the sugya that he was learning 22 years ago, he remembered that he was learning 22 years ago with his father. So there's a joke if we're still learning the same sugya, so we can open a different type of yeshiva. I saw the different nusach. It may be a Litvische nusach. He opened the base Talmud. I'm from Benzoner, so there's a yeshiva based on Talmud. That is still learning the Glidl sich and the selbe sugya the ganze Jahr. They're still learning the same sugya. So that's why they made a base Talmud. But really, if you look carefully in the words of Rashi and this Medrash, the Lashon is not base Talmud, sit and learn. Shmisham Teitzei Hira. Hira means from there, halachis, people will be able to paskin halachis and shailas in learning. The kavanah wasn't just to learn Torah that they had till now. The kavanah the purpose was to establish a base Talmud Shmisham Teitzei Hira. Recently, one of the hanachis that came out a few months ago, I'm not sure, a Farbrengen of the Rebbe that they print every week. And the Rebbe said many years ago that it's a double nachin, it's a good thing if they would have in yeshiva a certain group of bachim that not only would learn Gemara, biyuna, but also focus in limud halacha, that they should become rabbanim meidehera. And the Rebbe encouraged it very much. And this Baruch Hashem, this mochin that Rabbi Wilhelm has established, is a place where not only you're learning Torah, for limud HaTorah be'iyun, but it's also the purpose is to know the halacha, shemisham teitzei hira. There's no question that elaf nichnasin ve'echad yotzei, that maybe more than echad, in Yit Hashem, one day, one of the great Meir Heras will come out of this limud, this learning. And to conclude, we spoke about learning, right? Not enough that you finish learning, you have to continue learning. So there's a famous word of the Rebbe that we know the Nusach HaBracha for a Bar Mitzvah is you should be a Chassid Yirei Shomayim V'Lamden. What was the Rebbe's bracha? So another question, what's the deal with Halosha Lamden? Why Lamden? Chassid Yirei Shomayim Talmid Chacham. So the Rebbe once wrote, Lamden Kamoy Raftzon. In Gemara Bab Mitzi, it says, if you see a chamer, is crouching under his load, you see your enemy's donkey is crouching under your load, you have to help him. Ozev Tazeh. So the Gemara says, Roivetz v'loy raftzon. It's only if he does it once in a while. But if it's raftzon, he does it continuously, but he has this habit of crouching, and you have to continuously help him, then you're exempt. You're not mechuyev to help him. So the Rebbe said, Lamdon kamei raftzon. It's not enough you learned the Kens lernen, and you just Amolga learned. You have to continue learning. And this is Baruch Hashem, this Mochin, is Rabbi Wilhelm keeps it going from one Indian to another Indian, from one topic in Dayonis, from Hilchos Arev to Hilchos Koyalim, and weiter. So the bracha is, they should be Matzliach, and Mit Hashem, we should be Zeicha, to be Mashiach Tzedkenu, B'Korav Mamush.
Avi Ganjian, I have a surprise for you. Avi, come on. Yeah, you can. Avi, did I tell you I can't? Can I tell you that I don't force anybody to sit in your side? Take a picture. And you go in the middle. But I have to sign it. I wrap on the bottom. I forget. And I take it. I know. My
Okay. Thank you very much, Rabbi Wilhelm, Rabbi Hertz. Very nice to see everyone here. First of all, I would like to thank the Eibishter. I'd like to thank Hashem for enabling me to continue to be able to learn and to give me the cheshek and to continue to pursue this whole idea of learning. Torah, Yadin Yadin. Also like to thank the Rebbe for his brachas. Thank Rabbi Wilhelm. Thank my parents for coming in, my cousins, my uncles, my friends. Thank you very much. My aunt, yes, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone. And I wanted to say, people were asking me, what is this idea of Yadin Yadin? What does it mean to get Dayanis? What does it mean? You're already a rabbi. Now you're what, Rabbi Plus? What exactly is this idea of Yadin Yadin or Dayanis? And there's a lot of answers you could give. Basic answers which explain what the concept of a Dayan, what you can accomplish, what you could do. But it's interesting. This question was asked to me when I was being tested in Dayanis. Rabbi Shachat, who needs a refuah shalema b'karev, and he should have one, he asked my chavrusa and I when we were getting tested, and he asked us, why are you even doing Dayanis? Why are you doing Yadin Yadin? So we gave a few answers. We said it's good to learn, it's nice, you want to continue, you should know halacha. The Rebbe wanted it. So Rabbi Shachat sort of went like this, and he told me a story. He said when he was a bacher, I believe he was a bacher, the Rebbe one time called him in for Yechidus. And he was one-on-one with the Rebbe, and the Rebbe told him and asked him a simple question. Do you want to be a chassid? Now Rabbi Shachat was surprised with this question. Do I want to be a chassid? Of course I want to be a chassid. So he nodded and he showed, yeah, I want to be a chassid. So the Rebbe continued to tell Rabbi Shachat, if you want to be a chassid, you have to learn Dayanas. You have to do Yadin Yadin. So Rabbi Shachat was confused. Be a chassid, you have to go all the way to Yadin Yadin? Why? And the Rebbe proceeded to explain, in order to be a chassid, you do everything to the top tier. You follow halacha. Many people, when they learn, they don't necessarily learn halacha. That in of itself is an issue. But people that do learn halacha think that the subject of chesed mishpat, the interpersonal laws between one another, is something extra or extreme or too difficult. The Rebbe said these are the things that people just trample over with their heels, and they don't understand how these halachas apply to day to day. So if you want to be a chassid, you have to learn Yadin Yadin. And that's where Rabbi Shachat ended the test, the faher, with us. He said, you want to be a chassid, you have to finish Yadin Yadin. And that was something I took out of that. But a concept of Yadin Yadin, if you translate it literally, it means judge, you shall judge. Why is that different than what I've been doing till now? If you know what Yadin Yadin or Chesed Mishpat, the halachas of becoming a dayan, all these things have to do with interpersonal relations between one Jew and another. Halachas that have to do with how a person deals with money, but usually between one and another. Till now, the things that we've been learning is between you and God. If you keep kosher, milk and meat, who's going to find out? God. The only person that's going to know if you did something wrong is the Eibishter, Hashem. Well, now when it comes between a fellow and another, to see if you're really showing your Avas Yisrael, now you have to judge yourself. Judge, you shall judge. Yadin Yadin, judge yourself in every aspect to see, are you doing what needs to be done between your fellow and another? And because that is the true Avas Hashem. As we know, there's this Hayomim Chag Hasmicha where they're speaking, they asked the Alter Rebbe, what's greater, loving a fellow Jew or loving Hashem? And the Alter Rebbe said, they're both things that a Jew need to have and have within them. But there's a clear pasuk that says something very interesting. There's a clear pasuk. What was the pasuk again? Whatever, the pasuk mentions the whole idea. I don't remember exactly the pasuk. But the end line, you remember the pasuk? Hashem says, I love you, Yidin. Thank you. What does that mean? And the Alter Rebbe finishes off. Ohev masha ov ohev. You love what your beloved one loves. If you want to be able to serve Hashem properly, you got to know how to deal. Judge yourself if you're dealing with another Jew properly. So l'chaim, we should continue. There's no end to Torah, and we should go from strength to strength, judge and go even further. Mazel tov.
Okay, for the Ganjian family that's here, and a big contingency came from California. So now that Rabbi Barber walked in, this is not the one that you tested. A week ago, what's your father's name? Mr. Ganjian. Dr. Ganjian. Last week, I just want to describe what this is. They're a busy family. His older brother, a couple of years ago, got Smicha here. And his brother is a doctor. I think he's pretty busy doctor. And his brother learns every day in Rabbi Schusterman's shul in Beverly Hills. Last week, he got tested by Rabbi Barber on Hilchos Dayanis, Hilchos Edus, Hilchos Alva, and Hilchos Toyim V'Nitan, all in 3 days. Straight, he took off, and he's going to have his own party. He decided he wants to have his own party in California. So this is how it is. So let's take a picture with you.
I just want to end up. I have to thank my sister and my brother, whom Rabbi Wilhelm was talking about. Every night he would come home from rounds after 48 hours when he was studying in residency, and he would lie down. He would read me a story when I was younger. But before we could read the story, he introduced me to Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We had to do one page when I was younger every night. So I want to thank him as well for introducing me.
I have a special surprise. I want to take a picture with Avi, Mendel Schneerson, Eretz comes back, Eretz Franski, and Avi Begun. Eretz comes back. All they do is Avi. Keep the food going, and they'll get food.
Mazel tov to the Dayan Avram Ganjian. Mazel tov. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, rabbis and rebbitzins, it's my honor to call up to receive a certificate of Smicha and to celebrate this moment, Zalman Newborn. Thank you. I stand corrected. Rabbi, thank you. Rabbi Zalman Newborn.
You want to say something? Come for the picture.
Zalman.
Michal, you ready? Michal, you ready? You ready? You know you're sitting next to a judge. He's going to erase all your parking tickets.
The honorary judge, but more importantly, Rabbi Michal Kaplan, I asked Kaplan to come up and receive the Smicha. Mazel tov.
It's a great honor to be here tonight in front of an audience of Talmidei Chachamim and people who learn Torah. And I want to say that if everything is hashgacha practice, that I somehow ended up finding Rabbi Wilhelm, I want to thank Rabbi Wilhelm. Am I loud enough? I want to thank Rabbi Wilhelm for having such a wonderful program. I learned a world of halacha that I had no knowledge of before I started, and I want to say that now I have some idea what to do if I find a dead cow with milk in its stomach, or if I know what Rashi says, the Rambam, I know the Shach and the Taz and the Mechaber and the Raman, all these world of interesting things that I didn't know before. And I want to really thank Rabbi Wilhelm for presenting it all in such an interesting and stimulating and fun presentation week after week. 2.5 years ago, I can't believe it went by so fast. In 2.5 years, I've been learning Rabbi Wilhelm. And I want to say that even though I'm getting a certificate tonight, I don't see it as the end of anything. I see it as the beginning. And my inspiration is when I joined the program, I went out and bought a new sefer, beautiful binding, clear letters, and I was very careful to make notes in it with a ruler. And then Rabbi Wilhelm showed his Shulchan Aruch shredded, looked like it went through the dishwasher 25 times. So I realized because he spent so much time going through it. And so this I see not as the end of anything or the culmination, but actually as the beginning of something, because it developed a real love for learning halacha through learning with Rabbi Wilhelm. So thank you very much. And he's invited me to join the Choshen Mishpat share, which I definitely want to do. Thank you. At least then I'll know something.
Anybody need parking tickets already? We'll keep you out of jail. Hey, Michal, he might be had that. You got to learn the whole kitzur shulchan aruch.
Mazel tov.
Okay, are the chains eating? Not chains, I'm saying. No, the Friedman. Let's do the Friedman. He's giving the speech. Let him go first. Please.
All right, Mazel Tov. And we want to call up the two brothers who are receiving Smicha. Rabbi Aaron and Rabbi Binyamin Friedman, come please receive your Smicha. Mazel Tov.
Firstly, I wanted to thank my grandparents for flying in all the way from Michigan, Detroit. I know it's not, so easy at such a young age, so thank you for that. Especially, I wanted to thank my grandfather, who is that one who actually advised my brother and I to begin this program. And I wanted to thank you for believing in us from the very beginning. So thank you. Also, I wanted to thank both my parents for being here and supporting us. You know, I'm speaking for my brother and all my other siblings when I say that I want them to know that we appreciate everything that they do for us, whether we know about it or not. So thank you, and we love you. Also, I wanted to thank Rabbi Wilhelm that, you know, for giving a very clear and understanding shiur, and also for creating this entire program, which enables people who, you know, you typically have jobs or are usually busy, but to participate, and not just participate, but to excel in this endeavor. So thank you for that. And lastly, I wanted to thank just my brother here, my chavrusa, but especially his wife for letting me steal him away to go and learn, you know, especially putting up with the late night arguing. So, thank you. I just want to say a little bit about myself. I started this program when I was 19 years old. I was a year after high school. I was in Eretz Yisrael. I was dealing with a lot of health issues with my chest, and it was hard for me to go to shiur, you know, whether it was doctor appointments or whether being stuck in bed a lot. And it was not great in regards to, you know, showing up to shiur in yeshiva. It was by Pesach time that my grandfather, you know, mentioned the idea that, you know, we should try to go for, you know, Smicha. And my brother, when he came over to me and he asked me, I said, you know what, let's give it a try. You know, little did I know that that decision would go and change my life. You know, when I look at this diploma, right, the certificate here, you know, I don't just see a piece of paper. You know, I see that it's 2.5 years of work, but not just any work, it's enjoyment. You know, participating in shiur, you know, was very difficult in Israel, especially because of the time difference. But, you know, there's no better feeling than waking up at 4:30 a.m., sound of Rabbi Wilhelm giving shiur, of course, and then walking to the kaisel for, you know, Vasika chakras. So it was, you know, the eshadlus there and the learning, and the not just, you know, regular learning of Ian, as we said before, but the learning halacha and actually applying it to day-to-day lives. And, you know, I see a sense of pride and accomplishment in, you know, me, my brother, and all of those who, you know, are actually being Messiah here as well with us. And I wanted to thank, you know, everyone who helped us get there, and, you know, anyone else who is helping anyone who is Messiah as well. So thank you.
We'll first take ourselves and then copy. Got it? Now copy and paste. Okay, next, Derek's.
It's great in life to have a great chavrusa. Probably better in life if your chavrusa is also your brother. We have two brothers. We have another two brothers, Shluchim, Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Schneier Darin, who we're going to call up to celebrate and to give their certification of Smicha, to be appointed as Rabbanim. And we're honored to call up Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Schneier Darin, who are here with their father, and their Zaidi, uncle, I think. Please come forward. Mazel tov.
Rabbi Segal mentioned about how he gave his Tavshim Ches. The Rebbe spoke about how it's important to learn the Beis Yosef. The Rebbe was talking about a limud of Torah B'chlal is important. And the Rebbe moved from Torah itself. The Rebbe said the next thing you have to learn is Malachis Maisis. And when the Rebbe spoke about learning the Beis Yosef, in addition to the Rebbe saying that the Svarim stores should make special sales, the Rebbe explained why we have to learn it. Because every house, because every person has different parts at home and during life where he has different shalas and he doesn't always have a Rav to ask. So you need to be the Rav to know the answers, which is very similar to what the Rebbe said many years before on Chavdal Tevis Tashin Yud Beis, when that was like the real time when the Rebbe actually instituted the idea that Bachrim and Chassidim should learn Smicha. The Rebbe said the same thing, that every house should have a Rav. Before we started learning Smicha, we were a group of Bachrim, and we listened to that Farbringen together. In fact, actually, Jem made a living Torah out of it, Mamish the same week. But something that the Rebbe says in the beginning of the Farbringen, right before the Rebbe introduced the idea of Smicha, the Rebbe, I'll read from the Sikha. The Rebbe said that someone wrote to him a letter that he wants that his son should know two things: that the Eibishter exists and that Lubavitch exists, and nothing else. Whatever it might happen, that he will have to ask a question, if he should make a bracha on something, but he should know the Metzias of the Eibishter and that the Eibishter created Lubavitch and nothing else exists. And the Rebbe says that this is something that everyone needs to know, not only Bachrim, but also Chassidim, Balabatim, people in business, Jungelite. Why? Because we have a lot going on in our day, and we have a lot of tidus at Parnasa, and we are dealing with a lot of different things. But the Rebbe says, but every person, lachkik beliebay, einkretzen sich in Herzen, as Mervi der Eibishter in Lubavitch, Mervi der Eibishter in Tesach Sidis, Mervi der Eibishter in Teda is Mer Garnit Dog. And anything else that there is only to bring Nachas Ruach. So anyways, just wanted to share that. That was right afterwards that Rebbe introduced that we should learn Smicha. So there's nothing else besides the Eibishter and Lubavitch, and everything else is to give the Eibishter Nachas Ruach. Mazel tov, mazel tov.
You got a microphone and you said it, whatever you are. That's real. This is your. How about you?
Okay, it's my honor and privilege to call up Rabbi Yosef Rabino, who's also here with his parents, his brothers, sisters, his grandparents, to please come forward to receive a smicha, become a Rav of the Jewish people.
Bershus, Rabbi Wilhelm, Rabbi Avsin, Rabbanim, my family, and all those who gathered here today to celebrate the Chag Hasmicha. It's with great humility that I stand here. I want to start off by first thanking my grandparents, whose inspiration set me on the path towards Smicha. My grandmother has been a constant source of motivation and also helped to ensure that I have the materials necessary to succeed. So thank you. My grandfather, who's a rabbi, provided teachings and guidance that were instrumental in my spiritual development. Teaching me the discipline needed for laning helped me build the infrastructure I needed to prepare to study Smicha. So thank you. To my parents, whose support has propelled me forward for the past 21 years, I express my deepest gratitude. Their constant encouragement and unwavering belief in me have not just been a support system, but the very essence that fueled my journey. And to my siblings, whose dedicated source of inspiration, thank you for your support and encouragement. Your resilience and successes have motivated me to set ambitious goals for myself and persistently strive to achieve them. Now, let me share a brief thought inspired by the Torah portion we just read this week, Parshas Miketz. Over the past few weeks, we've witnessed Yosef's incredible journey from slavery to royalty in Egypt. A fascinating detail emerges when his brothers, standing before him, failed to recognize him. The Lubavitcher Rebbe of blessed memory provided a profound insight into this moment. The Rebbe highlighted that the brothers could not conceive that Yosef, deeply involved in the governance of Egypt, could still be their brother. It seemed impossible that someone could maintain a connection to spiritual truth while being immersed in the intricate details of the physical world. To them, he must be an Egyptian, not their brother. They failed to recognize that this level of spirituality in action, Yosef's ability to stay connected to God, even amidst the responsibilities of the material world. The Rebbe's insight resonates deeply with the mission of online Smicha, which seeks to provide a bridge to those balancing spiritual pursuits with worldly commitments. Just as Yosef ruled Egypt while maintaining his spirituality, online Smicha enables us to reach spiritual heights while remaining engaged in the physical world. I want to express my profound gratitude to Rabbi Wilhelm and Rabbi Avsin for organizing this Chag Hasmicha and for establishing a program that empowers individuals to achieve spiritual growth while actively participating in the physical world. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight, and may we all continue to strive for spiritual heights while navigating the intricate details of our worldly responsibilities. Thank you.
Yeah. Come. Who's your hair first? That's okay.
That was a speech of a rabbi who comes from rabbinical dynasty. So Mazel Tov. Want to call up? And I like this Tuda is nice. Avrech, Hamuflog, Hashliach, Myrena Rav Menachem Mendel, Ben Reb Tzvi Aryeh Yichud Jacobs. please come up and receive a smicha and celebrate this great moment. Shliach of the Rebbe in Las Vegas, Nevada. Mazel tov. Here.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I want to say, first of all, that I was born on Hey Tavis as a bracha from a direct bracha from the Rebbe. It's always been a part of me that Sfarim had a very special place in my heart. It hasn't been easy to be studying throughout Smicha, so I wanted to definitely thank all the support that I've had throughout the past 2.5 years, 2+ years, 2.5 years. First of all, I want to thank my dear mother for asking for a child on Hey Davis, and the catalyst for me to be able to have that inside of me ever since I was very little, always being fascinated by Torah. For me, learning Torah is geschmack, and for a lot of people, it could be a sense of completing the smicha that gives them that geschmack. For me, I felt something where was the actual Torah through learning with Rabbi Wilhelm and my dear Chavrusa who just spoke, Rabbi Yosef Rabbanau, that the Torah itself was something that was giving us fire. It didn't matter if we finished. It didn't matter if we were in the moment. Where, like some of the other speakers were saying before, that learning Torah itself was very geschmack. So it's definitely inspiration for me. I also want to notice everyone going through their busy life, taking off time during whatever responsibilities they have to be participating in this year, coming to this year. I know for myself it wasn't easy with time difference. When I hear other people's time difference, and I say maybe it was pretty easy. But I want to notice for everyone being able to participate in it. It definitely was a really nice environment, having people from Japan, people from other places. There was people from the UK, from the US, right? We had people from all around the world. It's a very unique experience that the online format was able to give us. I also want to thank my wife. Oftentimes she would have to she would take a lot on her plate just so I had a few hours to really focus on my studies, sometimes for a week at a time before a bechina, before a test. So definitely that was a big support from my father and mother who are here with us. My father would always listen to me learn. We would learn together. We would, anytime he made himself available so we could learn together. It was definitely a big help. Again, my chavrusa I randomly met before he even was part of the online Smicha, and I said, "Oh, you're planning on joining Smicha?" He said, "Yeah," and he mentioned the program. I didn't know it was such a big, famous program, but I guess online Smicha is the biggest, most famous Smicha program. So I want to thank Rabbi Wilhelm, Rabbi Avzin. I had a lot of opportunities to meet with Rabbi Wilhelm at very interesting places like Las Vegas casinos, giving Dvar Torahs in the most randomest places, meeting with him while he's taking care of his granddaughter. Sometimes he brought his granddaughter to the shir. Sometimes I brought my daughter to the shir. So definitely having a lot of people together was very nice. I gave, I think, 2 testimonials for online Smicha. I would gladly give many more. Also, I wanted to mention Rabbi Wilhelm adds a lot of humor in the class. Some of the time he's actually funny. Some people might say it's unprofessional. Some people might say it's a distraction. For me, it was something that I felt was actually necessary, especially in that format, to keep people engaged. Some people have their cameras on. Some people have them off. It definitely was able to shake people up, like you would often mention. I don't know how much it helped everyone. Definitely helped me to, get back on track. I wanted to mention something that stuck with me. In addition to the Rebbe's interpretations of all these different, sometimes not such relatable information about how certain things are not batal, about milk, about meat, about the pots. But we talk about how something is not batal forever and would apply to ourselves in Chassidus, that if we act in a certain way, if we're like a beria, for example, I remember learning that with Rabbi Rabbi Wilhelm in Las Vegas. We were learning about how all the different mashalim of it. And one thing that stuck with me was about how oil, shemen, is mefafeya b'kulay. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how that works with shemen. So the way it works with shemen is you have a duality, is that first of all, the olives that it takes to crush, you have to work harder to crush it than it is with wine, and it also rises above. So when we're learning Torah, it's not just listening to a Geshmak Ashir or engaging ourselves in Torah and hearing it there, but you actually have to toil hard, and that's how you're able to rise to the top like oil does, rise to the top. And as well as everyone being here tonight, when you didn't get together and have farbrengen, it's very important to have farbrengen. So shemen is the same thing. When you have oil, it spreads everywhere. There's no getting rid of it. You cannot separate. Once oil gets in, it's problems everywhere. So in a positive way, when you have people getting together, it spreads everywhere. And same with the humor, the camaraderie that we're able to have in our shiurim. We're able to all come together, and if we connect to that, the light of Torah, we know Torah is like shemen, is like oil, and oil never becomes batal, and will never become batal if we connect to the Torah. I wanted to finish off with how, when it comes to Torah, not just helps ourselves, and not just helps bring people together, but it also brings gula to the world. It brings peace in the house. It brings shalom bayis. And when you do this in a way of Torah, which is also lashon hara, and we take upon ourselves, even if it's something small, something a little bit, even for a day, to commit ourselves to learn an extra nigla, an extra little bit of chassidus with someone, the effects not just have on ourselves, on the people around us, but actually bring the gula with Mashiach and here Minu. Amen.
Let's take a picture. And then you call your father. Who else?
Thank you.
Where is it? Where is it? Rabbi Isai, the next one coming up to get us his certificate is actually it's his second time here. It's not like a road test where you come back a second time because you failed the first time. He did the first time, he did Smicha, and then while he was getting married, or after he got married, and after he got married, he learned Dayanis. Now this gentleman has Yichus from Yichus land. Does it Abitcha Masmid's Ureinical, right? Ureinical? Abitcha Masmid's Ureinical. And this is Rabbi Ari Begun.
Rishos Rabbanim, honored family and friends, the lights of Hanukkah may be behind us, but tonight is a testament to the fact that the light of Torah continues to shine. It is truly inspiring to be celebrating this Chag Hasmicha with everyone here tonight. Baruch Hashem, with online Smicha, I've been privileged to learn with people from all over the world. And it is wonderful to see everyone who has persevered in their initial commitment over the course of many years. In last week's Parsha Smicha, we learned about Yosef HaTzadik, who took dreams and turned them into something tangible. In the same way, we have taken our initial dreams and turned them into something that is not just a dream, but a goal that we have achieved over the years. In Chag Hasmicha, we discussed the importance of creating contracts without empty spaces to prevent alterations. Similarly, as we delve further into the Torah and fill in the gaps in our learning, we strengthen our traditions and safeguard them even further. I want to thank Online Smicha for providing us with this amazing journey and virtual access. Thank you to my family for all their support, my wife for allowing me the time to sit and learn, my newborn son for coming to celebrate on HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for all that he provides and Bez Hashem will continue to provide. I also want to give everyone a bracha that this should only be the beginning of your next chapter. May we continue to learn and grow in Torah, and may we use our knowledge to make the world a better place. Mazel tov, mazel tov.
Something important, wherever you can impress, influence in any way, you got to use the opportunity. There's a lot of things the terrorists is enough all over. Then there are things which happens, says Hakel Tola b'mazel. Everything you have to have mazel. So it says Afila Sefer Shevehechel. A Sefer in the Hechel has to have mazel. So first the pshat is that there are several Sefer Teres. Which one you should take out? One has mazel. But you could also say the Sefer Torah itself has to have mazel. A person has 20 things, 100 things to offer. Now, which gets the most? You have to have mazel. And particular. One of the crucial things. Sometimes going to happen that a person can, as shown, be nirshelen, and not always will he think about it in the course of the day that he was nirshelen in it. And one of the crucials which says on it more than anything. I'm not going to ask who knows which one it is, but I will say it. Where does it say? He's a cripple that cannot correct it. It says in some things. But there's a very simple thing which takes no effort whatsoever. In 1 second, you can make it or God forbid lose it. Can anyone tell me a thing like that? I'll say it. I'm not here to hear you. Kriya Shema Bizmane. On a Kriya Shema Bizmane, what does it say? Mi uves, I know this can all saken. Mi uves shele yochel saken. Tefillah, you didn't have milcha, you didn't have twice Ma'ariv, Shachris twice milcha, Ma'ariv twice Shachris. But Krishma, Bismane, is a mi'ove shel yochel satan. And sometimes he came home, whatever it was, maybe from the shach, and he fell asleep. Chas v'sholom, and you didn't get up on time. Do you think about it in the course of the day, in the course of the week, in the course of the mi'ove shel yochel satan? Think about it. The easiest thing. All you say, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, and you've done the whole mitzvah. And did you name Krishna? I'm sure everyone did. So this is what I'd like to mention to you. That saying Krishna has to be engraved. There should be a big sign in the kitchen, always, the time of Krishna. A child, you should ask him, what time is Krishna? He will tell you 9:05 or 9:06. You should know exactly. When you brought up with this, it stays with you. And everyone could be that. It takes no time, no effort. If you did this necklace, or if you did just as you are, it's mamish became sugar bearer. Did you like Krishna? What time is Krishna? And it could happen, never happens, but so that's what I would like to share with you. That Kriya Shema is verkein dacht am Yehuda shel yochel saken. It doesn't say about many places about it, such a words. And you get used to it. You get used to it. You make a note, make a note, make a note. It has to be engraved. I'll tell you, I happened just last week, whatever it was, I went to sleep before I'm with a shachar. I wake up, I give a jump right away. Mamish, the minute of Sozman Krishna. Mamish. You know the difference is you wake up, you're Krishna Chashom nicht. Just because it's so simple. Just because it's so simple. I see you paying attention to Rabbi Begun. You agree with me? So man, that's to the T. To the T, Rabbi Begun. Could you stand up? I want people to see. I ask you to stand now. I'll ask you a favor to stand up. I'm older than you. Please stand up. Yeah, I ask you. Rabbi Begun, you don't know how my heart melts for you. And this is, we have to go away. There's a lot of things. I mean, how do I come to talk to you people? Well, how do I compare to you? I mean, I'm from the, what do you call those things that clean up the sidewalk, the kind of thing. But everyone is created for a purpose. If I can give anything towards it, go see this. Sei gesund, and you guys, you Malachim, Tzadikim, Shluchim. You have to remember the small little guys that are not up to your level. You start with things that were very easy and embed one thing. It's automatically creates. And that itself is Shemaina. You and the families, your home portion, Shefa, Brocho, V'Atzlocha, in a revealed way. That we should see it with fleischige Augen. Und der Rebbe bekommt Nachas, und hat Nachas von euch every way. Und du sicher sein, Teke, wenn ihr Mamisch, wie ihr überleben.
Hoeveel minuten? Daar. Ja, dat is Okay, we have with us, I think it's Achrei Chaviv. Is this the last one? So we have a younger man, Reuven Keller, who lives in Williamsburg, and he just got tested this Sunday. He got tested Basa B'Cholov, but he's still on Tarubis, and he's about to finish Tarubis. So we gave him a din kedima. But before I call up Reb Reuven, I'm going to ask his Rav is dying, the Karola dying. So please, and he'll share some words in Yiddish. Please, Mechaber Zayin Do'ilim Medivri Brach.
Beschiss alle Chusser Rabunem du, die Chusser Geoinem. Es ist ein größtes Schier zusammen du, und so fällt in der Oinen, ich bin nicht kein Redner. Ich kann pushen mitfühlen mein Herz, mit der Aguna Zadig, für die Briefen Yitzchak Teller. Hast von der Schier mitzuhalten mit dem, schon hübsch Juren, seht Aid, was die in dem Eibischten. Ist ein Gerzeidig, was hat angesehen, dass du aber Schäfer auf der Welt. Hat sich gesetzt lernen. Und außerdem, was ein mordige, medagdige Mitzvahs. Und Sachjiden können sich von ihm lernen, wie soll medagdig zusammen bei Mitzvahs. Jede Sache soll sein ausgehalten, soll luchen, also wie es darf zu sein. Außerdem sitzt in der Harve, Tag und Nacht, und Baruch Hashem, seht jetzt der Peiris. Wird Baruch Hashem Aruf, Arav bis Ruhe. Wir suchen einen kurzen Gedanken, in 2 Minuten können wir aufhalten, der Eulen. Umfang Peirik Schiere steht, als du mit am Melech, gesucht Schiere, und gefühlt, gesucht der Beunische Eulen, nach du aber Chefin ist in der Welt, gesucht das so viel Schiere wie ich, ist gekommen als Zvardaya, und der Zvardaya hat ihm gesucht, ich such mehr Schiere von dir. Und noch mehr, auf jede Schiere suche ich 1000 zu 3000 Schulen auf jede Schiere. Und noch mehr von dem, sie du an Berge in Jam, das hat ich was zu essen, und ich muss Nefisch, und ich gebe ihm, wenn singerig, gebe ich ihm zu essen. Esst auf Zvardais. Was will du suchen, der Medisch, was will der Heilige Gemeinde soll suchen? Der alte Rebbe sucht, als wenn Jid Davend von Eibischten, wird Bootel von Heiligen Geschäfte. Ist aber du 3x3 in einem ist Jid wird Bootel zum Eibischten. 1x3 du pushet, Jid tracht dran mit Zeichels, du aber Schäfer auf der Welt. Und so wird Bootel zum Eibischten. Der zweite Mal3 ist, wenn der Kiesische belebt, der jüdische Fink, wie sind wir rieft es. Deze van een mens weet van agressor, maar draagt, brengt, als du steht, so kudisch man de kutel givje, get man een braat op de malke. Als harget dem givje, dit wegnemen dem nuches, en zegt aan zo beschäftigt op de welt, get man een braat op de malke, maar get man toenen van hemel, de pintele jiet. Aber noch mehr von dem ist, wenn man weet den ganzen Boot von Eibischen. Deze sind die 2 Tage gesucht von der Tamele. Aber man sucht Schiere, aber Schiere ist so, sie wissen, dass alles nur am Muschel. Die vielste Leute am Eibischen, ist alles nur am Muschel. Sie do a Pintele Jid, und das ist hecher alles, wissen wir, wer Boot von Eibischen. Und deze viele von 2 Tage aus, ich gebe auch viele zu essen, ich muss den ganzen warten. Alles von Eibischen Weg. Das kann man sagen für die Briefen. Gekommen, gesehen, du aber Schäfer in der Welt. Weiß, ich bin gut, nicht nur von Avoides Hashem, von teuren Avoide, und von Lehnen in Daven und in dem Eibischten. Das ist ein ganzes Warten von Eibischten. Das können sich alle lernen, sei für sein Avoides Hashem, seine Ehrlichkeit, und sei, wie so ist umgekommen in teuren, in der Hand Aruf bis Ruhe. Hat es hier zu sein Siemen mir in der Heim, sei Avoide Ingele, in der Geid in der Wegen von dem Taten, in weiß, was meint. Fragt mich alles, jede sagt, was ist da Luche? Lernt da Luches, weil hat das Tat noch auf einmal aufzukicken. Ich will nicht aufhalten, der Eulen. Ich wünsche schon für den Brief in Yitzchak. Der Eibische soll helfen, uns können weiter lernen, in steigen, uns alles sich weiter lernen von dir. Und es können passen, in Schales verheben. Und der alte Rebbe sagt auch, dass der größte Simche ist Simche Steuer. Warum ist Simche Steuer der größte Simche? Was kommt sich dort zusammen, alle Simches von der ganzen Jahr. Die Iker ist sich frei mit Teure Mitzvahs. Simche Steuer kommt sich zusammen, der Simches muss sich gefreit der ganze Jahr. Jetzt ist der Simche, man rief doch so der Chag Hasmicha. Das Simche Steuer, das Jonte. Jetzt kommt sich zusammen, der Simches von der ganzen Jahr. Jeden Tag muss gepluckt auf der Resur, auf der Schach. Sich gefreit mit dem. Jetzt kommt sich das zusammen, das ist der ähnliche Jonte. Und da habe ich die Hälfte, das sitzt vor Abunnen, damit ich gekommen. Jeder hat sich keine Warte dienen, der Weibisch, die Simche mit der Leibe. Der Brief in Yitzchak sehen nachher, wir steigen weiter, und keine Warte dienen, im Rutsch nach Shem.
Okay, we're going to bench. Rabbi Gold is going to lead us in benching.
All right before benching, first, on behalf of everyone, I want to thank Rabbi Wilhelm for online Smicha. Online Smicha, there's something you take out besides your certificates, is the greatest thing you could do, right? Obviously, instead of donating, is refer a friend. You said it's, who said it? Jacob said it's world famous. But online Smicha is really a continuation of the exact idea of the Beis Yosef, which is to make Torah accessible to everyone, and halacha specifically. And that's what online Smicha does, really in two ways. One, like multiple people shared, you can be anywhere in the world, any time of the day. It's not an excuse. You can join online Smicha. And two is that, of course, when you learn the Smicha, you're learning the texts, and to learn how to learn Shulchan Aruch, so that any other shaila that comes up, at least you know how to open a Shulchan Aruch. But online Smicha makes deep ideas and harder ideas accessible by making charts, Rabbi Willem explaining it in a clear fashion. So really, it's making halacha much more accessible for Klal Yisrael. So thank you very much, Rabbi Willem, for creating online Smicha. Please encourage every Yid to learn and to continue learning, especially halacha. I want to call up everyone who has gotten a certificate tonight to please come up, take a picture together with the Rabbanim. Come on stage behind the Rabbanim. Bring your certificate if you can. I'll take a picture. And then we'll have benching.
Are we missing anybody?
One second.
It's a short guy. Double up. You guys go in and double up. The taller guys in the back. I don't want to leave. Okay, do we have it? Where's the photographer? One sec. And then we're going to bench. He's coming? Then we're going to bench. We have Rabbi Gold. Who's benching? Rabbi Gold benching. Okay, get everybody in, okay? Hey, Yitzchak. you know, yeah, one more time. Yitzchak has to come in. You gotta do it again. Anybody else missing? Okay, anybody else? Come in for Yitzchak. Come in. Come in. Come in. Come in. Yeah, right. Come in. That's a still eventually. By sheer goal, you weren't playing. Make believe it's a sheer now. Who can't you see? It looks like a washing machine. You ready? Kosher. Straight. Thank you very much. Okay, we're gonna bench now. Yeah, I'll see that. Where went so far? Go ahead. Thank you. I'll take care of it. I will. What is it? Thank you very much. It's the number? It's the number? Rabbi Segel, you're under rotation. Oh, come to Yichya. You're not getting it.